Good afternoon, folks. Just conversations, no interviews. We're gonna go ahead and get started. This is episode 15. Yes, let's go.
Please remember to like
Subscribe
and share.
And in that order, please. We really appreciate it.
Well, on this wonderful day today, we like to say the DA race. Mr. Krasner did win this race.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, we still should be having more of a liberal district attorney. The FOP didn't get their way, so thankfully we won't have the police and the DA running a racket through the city and locking young Latinos and Africans and poor black people up, poor white people up. So we'd like to be thankful for that. Also, there is still more racist stuff to be, more races going on in this November. There'll be more elections going on.
So make sure that you go out and vote. Make sure that you are registered to vote. That way that you make sure that your voice is heard every time that there's a decision to be made in regards to who's going to be an elected official representing our community or representing our people, depending on what your what is it called again?
What's your party?
Yeah, your party is.
Okay. A business update, current events update, just to let before we get into the show. We see cryptocurrency took some hard hits this week. So a lot of Ethereum and Bitcoin and stuff like that lost about 20% of its value. So just like if I was on the show before and I told you before that you should invest in it, I guess I have to be on the show and say yes, I will still stand by saying invest in it, because even though you may have lost, that's part of the game. But there are a lot of losses that happen, which is kind of like crypto's on sale right now and a lot of stocks are on sale. So sometimes people look at when certain assets or things like that go, when they start to lose money, people look at like the bottom has fall out, but it's actually the time to buy it because it's on sale. Right? Most people buy stuff when it's on sale. You know what I mean? Because I'm in my mind, I think it will go up. But don't do your research. Don't take my word for it. But I did have to put that out there because I know some people are killing me, saying, "Hey man, you left this up because you told us to go buy this stuff." But if you look at the time that I told you to go buy it, the Ethereum was 1400 back then. Even and it went up as high as 4,000 up until last week. Now it's down to 2,200. So if you look at from the time I say to buy it, you still be at $800 positive.
And also, with that being said, please, with every topic that we discuss on this platform, understand that anything that we talk about is open for you to go and do your own research. You definitely should. I think everybody should have their own perspective, regardless of who is providing you with those resources and that information, because you want to have your own understanding of, anything that you're doing, especially if you're investing your dollars and cents. I think that's a good decision to make.
Hey, I got a question on you might know. I was in the mall the other day and I seen a Bitcoin.
Mac machine?
Yeah. What's going on with those?
No, they've been out for like the last year.
Yeah. I just seen it in the mall for the first time. They just got it in the mall in Jersey, and I was like, "Oh, want to get this?"
What does that look like?
It's like a Mac machine.
Like a regular Mac machine.
Yeah, it is a cryptocurrency.
So, are you inserting?
Bitcoin on it.
What are you inserting to get your money?
I guess you're going. I never used it.
That's what I was about to ask. What's the nature of this?
Do you bring it back next?
Do you go in there and buy? Or do you go?
No, it's a way you can retrieve money. So I guess if you have a wallet, it's just my thinking. If you have the Coinbase type wallet, you can go in there and transfer some money over to there.
Some out or whatever.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I don't own Bitcoin. I own Ethereum and a couple other coins. I don't own Bitcoin. So.
But wouldn't it be easy? I'm just trying to think, Neil. What would be the marketing strategy for them to feel like they can put machines? You understand? Because again, everything you do is for a profit. So
All the time. It could be advertisement. If I put a Bitcoin machine into the mall, it's going to be people say, "Oh, this shit is real."
We talk about that.
Yeah, this shit is real. So you know what I mean? I'm not that savvy with it. I know the little scammers probably out here tearing it up right now. If it is a way to do it, you know what I mean?
I was just thinking, like, based on if it was Bitcoin in regards to spending your money at the mall, that you would have like an Apple Pay or like a Swap. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't necessarily.
I don't know how it goes.
Yeah, what are you exchanging?
We like buying it in the mall.
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to figure out.
Well, it may, you gotta remember that Bitcoin is big with a lot of farms. You know what I mean? We just getting on to it. I mean, it's a lot of people that was scamming with it back in like the early 2010s, 2012, around that time. So I'm quite sure they probably didn't have a better idea.
I was thinking, I missed the boat. I'm thinking like, well, damn, did it already turn over to Bitcoin and crypto ain't using $1 no more. I know I was set for a
No,
little bit.
No, not yet, but it's really showing
Yeah.
that
It's coming.
banking will be something different.
Different, yeah.
Next,
Because it's like, man, you gonna go get some sneakers, but I don't even got Bitcoin. Like, I don't even use it.
I don't know. I'm just telling you, we coming up on those times.
Yeah.
Man, it's changing now. Bitcoin took a big hit because China is still not honoring it right now. China being a very strong economy, kind of shook it up.
But they say they're not ironing it, but I'm trying to figure out when they do decide to iron it with everybody, what is it going to be? Like, is that going to be the currency? I'm a little confused
I think
at
that's
looking at
it's
all
gonna be
the
a
type of
currency.
currencies. Because I'm listening to all the different coins.
Thousands of coins.
Say that.
It's thousands of coins.
Yeah, you understand? And I'm trying to figure out,
Which one do I want to partake in?
and which one will we really be using? Like, when I think about money and I'm thinking about the currency now, we don't have a lot of different brands of dollar bills and nickels and dimes and quarters. But right now, when I'm looking at it and I'm listening to money, it's a lot of different
Yeah.
directions you go with money. How do you recognize the value in it, and how would it be utilized
Well, think about like this.
regularly?
Think about when you was traveling. You went to
The exchange.
Amsterdam and all that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
currency exchange.
Alright, so they may be the end of that. It may be coming with that, it's the end of that. But some people saying like don't exchange your money because having a Bitcoin is like having gold, having Ethereum is like having silver. I don't know. This is all new to everybody.
Yeah.
So it's people who made this. There's people who sat somewhere in a room probably 10 years ago to make up this thing that we're experiencing right now. But I don't think it was up to nobody. I mean, Bitcoin took $1 trillion hit, but I think it's still $2 trillion. I mean, not Bitcoin. I'm sorry. Cryptocurrency took $1 trillion hit. You lost $1 trillion.
Here's what I guess I probably have to ask people who's generating this money. So what are we waiting for? What are we looking for? What are these companies looking for when they're waiting for all these different people to buy all these different stocks in it? At what point do you use this particular coin?
Well, no, you can use it now.
That's what I'm asking.
Now.
How are they
So
using it perpetually? Yeah, so let's say.
Some people at first, so let's go back to 2014. People were using it for purchases, right?
Okay.
So this is what happens though. So back in 2014, Bitcoin was probably worth, I don't know, you have to put it up on the screen for you can see it. Bitcoin was probably only worth like $5 a coin. So somebody was like, well, hey, guess what, man? I got $1,000 in Bitcoin. All right, 50 Cent, he sold albums, and he sold albums all around the country. Not when he was with Interscope, but when he was independent.
He accepted Bitcoin.
He accepted Bitcoin. Okay, so now you accept those Bitcoins, his album was $20. So maybe somebody gave you 4 Bitcoins for that album, right? That was in 2012. But now I'm saying 4 Bitcoins now are worth $30,000 or worth $40,000 now.
Right.
So now what people doing now, people don't really want to spend the Bitcoins. They're more so collecting it now.
So they already had these coins out, so now the configuration basically of the math is different,
What
and
else?
now they're being more valuable and more useful.
Yeah.
So now, were people able to go into like department stores? I'm saying that was 50 Cent choosing to say, all right, I'll take
Selling music,
from
but
my
listen, selling music all around the world.
Right.
So somebody
It's easy.
Has anybody walked in the department store? Not to my knowledge.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. It's not that casual.
But if
not
it's in
that-
the mall, it gotta be coming soon.
But like this, the Dollars Mavericks allows you to come in there with the Doge coin. That's the coin with the dog on it, and you can buy tickets to the game with the Doge coin.
Okay.
What the people doing who are accepting goods for tokens, they're banking on those tokens being worth more than with the money.
In the long run.
Because if I gave you $10,
So it makes sense to accept it.
yeah, because it's
You're going to be getting all kinds of coins that you
it's a
don't
risk
know the
and
value.
it's a risk and reward.
Exactly,
Because you can accept all those coins also and it'd be worth negative.
Yeah, go down.
So it's the chance you take. So like I tell people all the time, if you're going to do it, I tell people to use the money that you will use for recreational purposes. Recreational purposes.
That you will lose,
Going out
that
to
you
drink.
stand
The
to
same money
lose.
that you ain't going to get back no matter what you do anyway.
Yeah.
That's the money I would use to invest in crypto because it's so low, the margins are so low that you can play around like that because the margins are so low, but you stay in the game so much. But it's not an easy thing. Like I would just look on the joint and buy a coin. The process is easy, but picking the right one is just like going to the dog race or the horse race, trying to figure out which one.
Shot in the dark. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you would read the math behind the scenes, who's associated with the coin, what this coin going to be used for, and you take your pick like that. It's not.
It's just like stock, basically.
Yes. It's a good.
Basically.
Yeah, you're betting on currency.
Yeah.
You're betting on a different type of currency. But it's
That's funny because I'm so used to the currency being owned by our government or whatever.
Yeah, now the fiat, yeah, it's called fiat currency.
Yeah, now you got currency that's owned by individuals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just sound crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah and no, because when you think about it, is the world just changing.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
all.
So whenever I gotta have a problem wrapping my mind around things, I just think about the things I saw when I was younger to the things I see now.
Yeah.
So when we were younger, VCR was amazing. You know, DVD player, you had DVD, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Now everything is streaming. So all that space that you had, so like all the space in your pockets that used to be for money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's about to
You don't
change.
need it.
Yeah, it's about to change. Like it's really going to change. So like I said, it will be a topic that we will keep revisiting. Yeah, revisiting, because I said like it's just the way of the world. Like I don't think there's over $2 trillion invested in it this much. So if $2 trillion is invested in something, it's a real thing.
And this is in the coins in general, or
the whole
crypto
market. Yeah, the whole crypto
So
market.
okay, so that's what it is. So the whole coin-based market is called crypto.
The whole
Yeah.
style of money.
The
The
whole
whole style of
style
money.
of
Cryptocurrency. Yeah.
Cryptocurrency.
That's the whole style of money. Yeah. So what happens is if you go on certain charts, they give you the top 20 coins of the week. The top 20 coins. Some could vary. Some would be 89 cents. Some would be $200. Some would be $700. If you go on it from Friday to now, all of them in the red. They all losing. But when I say they're losing, they're just not worth as much as they were dating back in March.
Right.
But all those coins are worth more than they were last year.
But it's like any other stock. I mean, it goes
Up and
Up
down.
and down. Yeah, it's something. It's news driven, fact driven, and then some of it is people in the backgrounds are manipulating. Just like they manipulate money, though. It's no difference. Lastly, go ahead.
I was gonna say, are we gonna touch on the parking people? I saw the little thing that
See
you
the
put out,
parking.
but I was actually down there last week.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay.
Go for the parking.
I just need to know, is it just an inner city thing in regards to how they treat us? I don't understand how treat people the way you want to be treated in
Well,
life.
first time I'm talking about because he didn't see it.
So now, I didn't see that one that you sent me.
Here's the one I sent you.
I did, but I can't even remember it. My
So
mind.
listen,
I'm
in South Philly, one of them little tight blocks, Bull pull up with his work truck. So what he do is the car must be parked in front of his house. I guess the car been broken down for a while,
He
so he
moves it with the
take
work
his
truck.
car,
like that.
boom, boom, boom. And
His
then-
work truck
Yeah, man. He took it and hit the car like 4 times. And then
to move the car.
the park, yeah, so he could park his car like in front of his house or whatever.
Wow.
I had never seen nothing like this, and I was like, "Damn, parking wars is
That's
funny in the
hard.
snow." Yeah, parking wars is funny when we talk about it in the snow. But I
Snow,
never
yeah.
seen parking wars with somebody just like. I mean, he just was like, boom, 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 and then just park the car right there.
First of all, they gonna do what they want, say what they want, and then they be getting personal with it. Like,
So hold on.
like it's their car. So let me tell y'all, I come out of work.
That wasn't parking authority that did that.
No,
this is the first person.
It's like this.
Yeah, that work. Yeah, regular person.
Yeah, regular person, but just they got their
They
work
the
truck.
work man.
Yeah, they got their
So,
work truck.
so what this person reported them to the cops or something?
It's on those on camera. Somebody house camera got it.
Oh, and they just put it on.
They put it again like channel 3, channel 3.
Wow.
Yeah,
They
the
said
news was out there.
news.
Yeah, the news was out there. They saw it. It was quite interesting. Damn, it was quite interesting.
So back to me. Come out of work. La la la. Where is my car? So I'm like, okay. Nobody can really steal the car. They don't have a key. I'm like, I don't have any tickets on this car. I'm like, where's my car? So I knocked on the man door who my car was in front of. It was like, yeah, they booted and ticketed and towed that car. I'm like, what? So I'm like, how can that be? Right? So
Handicap?
no, none of the above. So now, to my knowledge, they run their name. And I had bought my son a car. My son was just driving Easy Pass, like he had the thing. Different little tickets.
Yeah,
so they run a name on every car.
Yeah, tags, the
Exactly,
name.
it's your
Yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah.
So, that's one thing. Okay. I do agree that you're supposed to take your responsibilities. No problem. However, when you go down to 13th and Filbert now, you have to get there between the hours of 8 to 12. So if you don't get there between the 8 and 12, you can't be seen. Number
Hold
one.
on, 13th and Philbert?
Yes.
I thought like 8th and Philbert. They changed this place.
8th without Filbert. That's all I know. It's
Oh, okay. I'm just asking because I'm saying
Yeah,
13th.
you got one
That's
spot.
CJC.
You got one spot when you go to court and they got one spot where you just go pay the total, the boot fees and
That's what was 12 and Filbert.
So I think 8th Street is where you pay everything at, but you can't get a hearing in there too.
That's
But
what
13th Street or 11th Street, whatever that is, that's where you actually go to traffic court. At. That's where you go sit to see the judge and all that.
for the moving violations.
I think for moving violations.
That's-
I mean, maybe for
I
all
never
of
did
them.
moving violations.
It may be for all of them.
Oh.
It may be for
I
like
know, yeah.
whatever if you had outstanding tickets and they summoned you to court for it, I think you go down there too. It's all still. No, that's parking, that's traffic. So yeah, it might be different. Yeah.
This parking is the
Yeah, it's
PPA.
the PPA, so that's 8th Street.
Yeah.
All I know is I was definitely on Filbert, okay? The number is in question at this moment. But I get there 8:33. I'm number 20 at 8:33. You have to stand outside. I said, Miss, what if it was raining? I could not understand the process of us standing. Okay. However, again, what if it was raining? What if it was snowing? What if it was howling? What if it was gunshots going on outside? I need to stand outside to wait to get inside. Now, let me tell you the process. You wait for your number to be called to go inside. Once you're inside,
Wait for the number.
basically, so now once you're inside, you see the person, you fill out your paperwork, and now you have to give them your telephone number for them to call you on your cell phone.
To let you know that it's a turn.
To let you know what you want to do as far as your payment plan or what you
So
got to
while
pay.
outside.
Thank you. That whole situation could have been handled on the phone the first go round or on the internet. Then, you know how many people was in there that didn't have a phone? What if your phone died? We already been waiting outside for 2-3 hours. What if you don't have your charger? What if you
Now they're in charge. You outside.
what if one man had to go pay his bill because his phone was off? Do you understand the kind of craziness that was down there? Then so many people were saying how they paid these tickets already. This one man said, "How am I going to get this car that y'all told that was on 4 flats?" That, you know what I mean?
They sold his car that had 4 flats.
Yes.
So when he go pick it up,
How you
it's
gonna get it
4
out?
flats.
The one lady, she said, "I came down here already." She said, "I just got off the payment plan." Well, what did I pay?
Yeah, like I gave you all the money.
Yes, and then she's like, the other lady said, "Someone stole this car. I brought down the police charges, so I had the DC number and so forth and so on. How are y'all still trying to charge me?" I mean, the things that they say and do down here is crazy. Then they treat you like, "Oh, not next." Like,
Yeah,
they don't care.
It's like fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you.
Knowing if it was their car, you'd be going crazy.
So this is pre-COVID. This is some years ago. So I had a car. I had a few tickets. I think I had like maybe 2 parking tickets. They was like $25 a piece. They wound up going to like $70-something a piece. My car get towed. It get booted and it get towed. And I'm trying to figure out how the fuck is my car ticket going. I only had 2 tickets, and I know it got to be $250 outstanding tickets before you even on the boot list. So I go down there and I find out that they're following the name now, they're not following the
The
tag.
plate, yeah.
But the problem with following the name and not the tag is I'm a junior. So they had tickets.
In the 70s.
Me, it was in 85. It said, I was born in 82. I ain't have a car. I couldn't drive anything. I was born in 82. So and they like, well, listen, we looking at the address, we looking at the name. I said, this is the address I live at now, and I wasn't even living here then.
Yeah.
Like, this is my first time living in this address all my life. This is the house my dad had. We never lived in it. I never lived there, so I just started using this address. I'm like, now, the whole point of us having suffixes like junior and senior is so we won't have this. Not to mention, my driver's license number is different. Not to mention, we do have a social security number.
Yes.
They said, well, that part is not our job. All we do is go off of the name and the address. That's not even legal.
No resolve.
You cannot hold my car hostage because somebody in my home has outstanding tickets. You can't say I'm not getting my car unless he paid his tickets. So it got resolved by luck, my sister called, basically went over their head. She called like administrative people. She got through, and it was luck because she talked to a person who heard the story. If this person just didn't hear this story and heard how outrageous it was, and she left it up to her own opinion to handle it, I'd have been paying thousands of dollars in tickets. Then come to find out that those tickets weren't even accurate in my dad name. You know what I mean?
But you know how many
crazy.
people just pay because they want their car
They just want
right
their car.
there in that moment.
Oh, they
And
control the limit.
you can't
They do it all
contest
the time.
it.
Yeah.
You can't contest. Once you pay, it's like, well, if I come back with my proof that these tickets have been paid already, oh, well, it's too late then. And I'm like, well, then on top of that, then you want to keep charging me.
$25 a day, so.
Exactly,
So
because
that was the other thing. So even though they found out I was right, I still had to pay the toll fee. I still had to pay the storage fee. You know how many days my car was down there? I wound up paying like a whole tab, like I really had all those tickets. But imagine I had to pay that
plus
for
the
us.
tickets, yes. And you know how many people that this man was down there, I promise y'all, he owned a tow truck. He said, how could I have gotten my tow truck back if I owed y'all any money? So now that y'all have my car,
I had to have my money. I had to
how
pay
am
my
I, yeah, he's like, how am I paying that same thing over again? He said, the lady just told you I was here last week. He had to give them $4,000 right in that moment
Oh, yeah,
because
look.
he wanted his vehicle.
They recharged me for tickets a few times.
Hey, I mean, it's crazy.
You gotta hold on, you have to hold on to your receipts, your invoices and all that. They sunk right after I paid it. A couple weeks later. I got the same exact tickets in the mail. Almost lost my fucking mind. Had to go back in. I paid these, this and the third. Then I learned that all this shit is done by system. So even though you paid them, it might not been in the system. So they still send it out.
Yeah, if you don't pay like within the 7
But
days.
come on now,
yeah.
that's not our job. That's not our
But here's what the
responsibility.
problem was. Even when I went down there and I told them that, it was like, yeah, we have it that you paid it, but she had to do something to update it because I was still in the system as to be on the toll and boot list,
Yeah.
even though I paid it and I had to prove. So forget the fact whether I went down there and could have proved them wrong. You
But what
inconvenienced
if
my whole thing.
what if you ever already got booted or
That's
told?
what I'm saying.
Then,
And I'm
you know,
stuck.
Exactly.
And they
Just
don't want to
the
hear my story.
inconvenience.
I have to
Exactly.
pay that money. You know what I mean? To get the car back. So, I mean, Philadelphia.
And that's what I want to know. Is this a Philadelphia
Yeah,
thing,
'cause I don't really
an
get
inner
into it.
city thing, or because
I think
in
it's
my block?
because they got them in DC, they got them in Pittsburgh, they got them in all
But I mean, do they
metropolitan.
treat the people that way? That's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
I don't know
And
that right
it's-
Chick-fil-A when it comes
And
to
it's so
Yeah,
crazy. On my block, you got the sign. Y'all familiar? It's like a sign where you can't park. When I tell you, anybody can park there any day, anytime, day or night. It don't matter.
Oh,
Nothing's
yeah.
going to happen.
Oh, and listen, correct me if I'm wrong, I may be wrong, but I think I remember this. They're not even a city ran business.
It's the state on it.
State on it.
State on it.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
city
yeah.
was running it, and I guess they were saying that certain ethnic people was running wild, so then the overseers had to come in and take it.
Yeah.
And now it's really a Republican-based business.
Mm.
So if you want a job, you got to be like in the Republican Party
To get in there.
to get a job.
Wow.
And then this is the final thing I had to say. So they had this lady, right, that kept opening the door and shutting the door to give you your number or to tell you what to do next. And it's like she was getting attitude with people, and I'm like, how much are you getting paid to open this door all day long? Like, are you kidding me, lady?
It's personal for her.
Yes. I mean,
You
it's
can't really
just.
say that though, man, because you can't act like it's just to work all the time.
No,
See, you know there's some motherfuckers that go down
But what
there
I'm
and be
saying
on some
is,
real
ain't
loud
nobody
shit.
gonna make me open and close no goddamn door all day long. Period. That's not my job.
If you know how you go downtown, you handle business, you might be handling taxes, you might be handling whatever, and you talking to these people, and it's like your story offends them personally.
Exactly. Like they upset.
They're mad.
Yes.
Like you owe them.
Yeah, but you know,
But it's
You
dealing with
I
people
know
all
you
day.
get it.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
But
what I'm
that's what the job they signed up for.
yeah, I know that.
That's
but
just
I'm
like me
saying-
being at my
Alright, so
job
listen,
and I'm
listen, I got
pissed
you.
off at whatever and I'm taking it out on your kid. No,
I got
it can't happen.
But what happens for when you're a teacher and you know sometimes you might go out your way to help a student, right? You might and you know that's not part of the job. You might go out your way to help this student and you help this student and then all of a sudden this student turns around and like, "You never do shit for me."
It happens all the time.
So you may be able to control it, but somebody who opened the door may have opened the door right before you came. Somebody said, "Look, baby, I ain't gonna let you in. I'm gonna let you in and let you in." And that motherfucker, she let the person in. He did that. He come outside like, "Oh, yo, fuck them. They let everybody just go." You know, and like,
No, I just help him out.
I understand that, but we
You
talking
do that.
about you. No.
No,
It's a difference between.
we are humans.
But we talking about the way you treat people. We talking about proper etiquette.
Yeah, not being rigid.
They don't
I realize
say
you gotta be
good morning.
rigid. Sometimes you gotta be rigid.
but we
If I let
just
you do it now, I gotta let him do
Yeah,
it.
we're not talking about bending the rules for your job.
We're talking about
I'm
personal.
talking about treating people with common courtesy and
Maybe
respect.
that's just not the job of
Good
that
morning,
person.
how you
That's what I
doing?
think. That's what I
Take
think.
care. You know, how can I help you? None of you
Everybody
get
got
none of that no more.
Everybody got
You
chicken.
don't get none of that.
This is crazy though. You know how you say like, and I agree, the job is not for the personality. But how is it all these motherfuckers with these horrible personalities get these kinds of jobs?
Exactly.
Like, everybody got bad
Because
personalities.
really somebody who probably got a good personality and job like that, they probably want the ladder faster. You know what I'm saying? It's usually those type of people with that type of personality. That's not a person that nobody wants to promote.
They don't want to keep them in that
They don't take that up there with
Yes,
us.
they
Yo,
don't.
keep that motherfucker back
Right
there.
down there.
Keep right there. That's what your purpose. Because
Yeah.
you know,
You need a
attitude
football
is
out there.
everything.
But see, but that go back to, people. It baffles me how people have no respect for your job. I don't care what job it is. When I worked at ShopRite, I was there. How you doing? Hello? I was, you know what I mean?
Listen to that.
Yes.
Nobody's that every day. Come on, man. Everybody have a bad day.
I'm not saying about a bad day, but if my bad day, you're not going to see my bad day.
Was that
You're
your
not,
overall?
you're not going to see my bad day.
I work with people, man, who like came in for the shits. Like,
Oh yeah.
Like,
to bring the whole life with
listen,
us. Yeah.
when I was working in the schools, right, and I happened to be working with a woman who was a staff. Her personality was the women that I didn't like when I was in high school and middle school. And I happened to be working with this woman. And everything I thought about this personality, I was dead right. I'm like, she can't be mad at us all the time. We ain't doing nothing to her. We ain't do shit to her. It gotta be something going on at home, so I get a chance to work with this personality, and I was right the whole time. This is a miserable individual, man. So one day I come to work, and this person was my homie, my old head was an older lady, my homegirl. I love her to death. But one day, me being human, I come to work, and I just want to just relax, like woosah. She come in, yeah, what the fuck they doing this? Like, yo, you can't, and you just got here, and you late, and you got an attitude. I'm like, you starting your day off with this negativity? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just not pleasant, man. You know what I mean? And these people sometimes, they get in these positions where they have to deal and interact with people all day, and you don't have the personality for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, smiling sometimes go a long way. You know what I mean? They say you get more bees with honey. You know what I'm saying?
And, people kill me when, they had it and they hit that they can do the job when they home. No, this is a group dynamic. It has to work collectively in partnerships. You can't do it by yourself. That killed me when somebody be on dozen hours alone, dictating things, and you don't understand why it's not working right. Like, hello?
It's like
You didn't confer with your team. It has to be.
The person at the door is supposed to confirm with their team.
No, I'm talking about in partnerships or in business where, people at the top will act like, they don't have to confer with the team. Like, see, again, I'm being biased and I'm talking about maybe my personal jobs, but you have a leader and it's like, but even with the church or in the neighborhood, like they used to say back in the day, it takes a village, right? It takes everybody, every piece of it takes to make a cookie. It ain't just chocolate chips. You know what I mean? Yeah. You need all the ingredients. You need the butter, the sugar, the eggs, all that stuff. So the same thing with any job that you're doing can't be unless it's ain't too many jobs that it's a one-man show. But if it's not a one-man show, you have to be able to confer with each other and work as a team collectively.
So outside of people that's working with people, the public having bad attitudes, you saying like people with positions sometimes get the wrong position for the personality that they have in general. Mm-hmm. So not just the people that's working with the public, but just people in professional settings alone. Sometimes their personalities don't meet the positions or the
sometimes you got people in positions that just they don't reflect a leader. You know what I mean? And a leader, number one, that's at the top of the chain, right? So they are the ones that everybody is looking up to. So you're looking up in order to gain, the perspectives of what you should be doing. If your leader is not a strong leader and can't, be a strong person to, number one, communicate and take into consideration every person, every dynamic, differentiation. All of those things it's not going to work. You know what I mean? It's not going to work. It may work for a while, but it's not going to work, whereas every individual is adding and is happy and contributing and giving them 100% in what they do, from my perspective.
I'm so lost. We were somewhere and we got over there. and
No,
I just wasn't.
The place that we were was talking about
Personalities, with positions.
personalities. And I may be being a little bit biased because I'm speaking of one field in this moment, but I've seen it in a lot of them. You know what I mean? Even when, like, with my son playing football, the children or the kids get caught up in whose role is what, and they get big headed, and it's like they think they running a one-man show. Like, I don't need you, I don't need y'all, I don't need such and such. And they forget that every person on that field is adding to that win. You can't win that game with one and two individuals. You know what I'm saying? I think that goes well beyond just my job. I see it a lot. I even see it in friendships.
I've seen it in friendship and in business. We talked about this before. We actually had a word for it. We together when we winning.
Oh yeah, the bias.
The bias.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went all around the world on that one. But
I just wasn't like that. I was still I was just focused on the one thing. So then when we went to I'm like, oh shit, like, see,
but this happens on just conversations.
I know. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm rewinding the conversation like that. Look, I know I've been listening.
But I just because I was paying attention a little bit. We went from talking about Philadelphia Parking Authority and how some of these people get these positions and their personalities don't match the position that they take, and then it just went from
and it's
in
funny.
general.
Yeah, it's funny because that, right? So when we was talking about that part, I was about to say, shit, motherfucker gotta eat. They ain't got time to worry about their personality. I gotta get some money. Like, so I was thinking on that. So then when we went to the leadership chat, I'm like, oh shit.
Like that, that's real.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
and that's real shit. And I think that be part of the problem.
Yeah, I gotta do this job.
I gotta do this job. And I know this might go all across the world, all over the board, but just saying that to say, think about how many people who take positions like policing with that same attitude.
Oh,
they know they don't really have the personality for the job or the mental capacity for the job, but it has good benefits. It's promising. You can get a house with that job.
I ain't gotta worry about going to prison. I can do this job and still be some form of productive or successful, depending on who you ask. Like,
Right.
So now, again, with
So
that
you
same
take that kind of
mindset,
job with the wrong personality, then you have all these
Issues.
you know what I'm saying, and all of that.
and same thing like you said everybody gonna have a bad day. Then you got this police officer with this bad day.
Yeah.
Now, what's the flip side of that? You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? All I'm saying is treat people the way you want to be treated. It don't take much to say good morning. How you doing? And I think sometimes when you even push yourself to do that, it can change the whole flow of your day. You know what I mean? Especially as a woman, I think a lot of women kind of shy away from other women speaking to them or giving them a compliment. So it's one thing that I try to go above and beyond to do all the time. And
Men do it also. Men do it a lot.
I hope they do. I really hope they do.
No. That's not a good thing. You just said that women shy away from giving each other compliments.
Oh, you mean? Oh,
I'm saying
compliments.
men. No, I'm saying men do it like it's
Yeah.
hard for a man to say.
I'm sure.
That's some bang ass
Yeah.
shit.
But guess what?
But
When you see it happen, don't it? I mean,
I'm gonna tell you something.
I love when I see it
The
happen.
first person I've ever seen really do that shit on a consistent basis is this guy and this guy.
Yeah.
They're the only two dudes I've ever met in my life that compliment and don't.
And
don't
what's the
that's what I'm
response?
saying.
What's the response that if you just looking back at the interacting between those two people, what did you internalize from it? Like, what did you see in that moment?
The first time I seen him do it,
Yeah.
six niggas gay.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about
I
the response from the guy when whoever he complimented. You know
don't
what I
even know
mean?
because I didn't even see that part. When I
Yeah.
didn't see him do it, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with these boys?
Because it's so uncommon.
Because because honestly, you get stuck in your ways. You're taught to do that when you're young.
That's what I'm saying. We came up. That was really a thing that you did. That's sometimes how you spark conversations. And, you know what I mean? On basketball, hold up, damn, Malcolm Jones, go. Where you get those from? All of this. Then it went to that. It's Dickie.
That's Dickie. I'm about to say that
Yeah.
term Dickie has held so many people back in life because you know that shit's put in your brain, and you think that giving a compliment
It's being Joe.
Yeah, and it's like it's not. They two don't even correlate.
Yeah.
It's like no, it's nice. Hey, look, that's nice you got on like.
But,
You know
but it's so funny though, because in the thick of it, right? I used to, when I was young, I was like, damn, Jones cool. He a cool boy. I want to tell him I like him, Jones.
But you can't. That's exactly what
And that's so corny.
I'm just telling
But
you.
that you so right though. That's
So
it.
what wind up happening is, you know, I start getting a little older, and you start moving a little bit just outside of your everyday environment, and you start seeing different people from different neighborhoods. You're like, you know, and y'all acknowledge each other. Like, you might be like, man, all right, he me on this side of town.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's that third,
Yeah.
and he might be on your side of town. Recognize you. Then he me on my. You know what I mean? Now it's like you start recognizing like game recognize game, and real recognize real. So if the real individuals didn't get stuck in that mind frame,
It don't hurt the compliment.
it don't hurt the compliment. And actually, in certain circles, it made you the bigger player in the room because it showed how comfortable you was in your own self, that you was willing to put your reputation on the line as being Joe.
And
You know what I'm saying?
When I say that too, they were the two youngest people.
Youngest, yeah.
Because the old heads I would be around, they do it all the time. Like that sharp of it. You know, they have a
But
right
now here, we like, yo, don't do that no
But
more.
I'm just saying, like in my age range at that point, it was like no, it was taboo. It was taboo because people are like they look at the shit and they admonish the shit. You even catch a motherfucker staring at you too. I'm like, man, what the fuck are you on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it don't say, hey, dog, that's nice how you put that together. Or it's nice what you got on or something like that. Motherfuckers just be looking at each other like.
Yeah. And I think that's probably one of the more reasons that I try to go above and beyond on a daily basis to. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna try to highlight it. Like I don't care what it is because I think it creates a different vibe. You know,
It's a different
especially when you
environment.
know a
It take-
person's personality.
It take down the barriers.
Exactly.
Like a compliment,
Exactly.
one compliment can take down all the barriers.
So listen, it can change the whole dynamic of the relationship, especially like I said with women. I can only speak with you can see those walls put up. You know what I mean? Like you said, you can see when somebody is coming in on a daily basis and they're bringing in their home drama or whatever they got going on, bringing it into that environment, and that can just lighten it up a little. But the bigger picture is treat people the way you want to be treated in life. There's nothing wrong with having mannerisms and saying good morning to your neighbor because you never know when you're going to need a person. Especially your neighbor.
You speak to all your neighbors?
Even my neighbors from my old block.
No. But
They call me.
No, I see younger people, especially when they move on blocks. Like they won't know nobody on their block,
And it's a hindrance.
and they think it's like that's how it's supposed to be. And I just
Yeah.
like yo, like somebody might break in your house when they
Really
see
need to
like,
know.
You need to know.
Something when your kids may be locked out. Like you want to like try speaking, like try to introduce yourself, no names. I mean, it's crazy how blocks are now. Like
It's so many ways of being a good neighbor, right? That I learned. So one, there was a woman who lived across the street from me. Now she passed, and sad thing about it is she was a great neighbor, but her family wasn't real neighborly because she passed. It was like 5 to 6 months went past. We didn't even realize she had died until we started seeing them move her stuff out of her house. Now mind you, when I first moved to this block, every time I turned around, I parked the car, I'm about to go to the house. Sometimes I would try to avoid not even make eye contact with her. And she would talk to me, and she'd call me on that side of the street with her, something was going on with her leg, but she was an attorney for the city. And she was a African American woman, you know what I mean, attorney for the city. The first, I think, black woman I met that was a attorney, you know what I mean? And she was down to earth and humble. She wasn't big-headed or nothing, you know what I mean? She was regular. So anyway, she'll call me across the street and tell me, just give me a little game. And sometimes it'll be stuff like, it's but at the same time, feel like she was getting in my business. But everything that she ever said to me, I noticed she was paying attention to what was going on my side of the street. that's the kind of neighbor you want.
Exactly.
She used to tell me, listen, I can tell that y'all love all y'all green stuff. I see y'all growing stuff in the back. Mine, she never been in my backyard, but she knew we was growing stuff in the back. I said, I guess she seen me throwing like the dirt over my shoulder and going to the back. She was like, but you might want to add your bushes down real low because from off your porch, that bush, somebody could be standing in front of that bush and you wouldn't be able to see them coming out because it's so
big.
Yeah.
so big. And I'm like, I'm not thinking about that, but she was right. She was right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in the beginning, she was an annoying neighbor. I did not feel like dealing with that. But if anything would ever happen, I know she saw and heard.
Exactly.
Then you got my neighbors that's right to the right of me. They Spanish. You don't really speak that much English. We don't talk a whole lot, but it's perfect amount of communication. we so close that we don't need to be so social.
Yeah.
But I know we got each other back because I take their trash out.
Yeah.
They take my trash out. Whoever gets to the trash cans first when we come home from work, that's who pull all the trash cans back. It's we never discussed it. We never said this is the arrangement. This is just what we've been doing. It's courtesy since we've been there. That's good neighbors. You know what I'm saying? But two different styles. He ain't in my business. He ain't asking me nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, growing up, man, I remember my pops used to make us shovel the neighbor's joints. It was no rag either. Like,
Right.
he shared the stairs, and he like, you know how it go. And I just be like,
Gotta shut it up.
and it's crazy though, like, you know, because my pop was a strong person, I can't question it. It's just
Do it.
do it. You know what I mean? Now I see those same practices when people try to do it, and like the kids are like, I ain't gotta do that. Man. Why I gotta do that? And I'm just like, wow, like a lot of those lessons is gone.
It's gone.
And even just wanting to do it. Like, honestly, it drives me insane when I see people littering on their own block, on their own streets, putting stuff out the window. Like, you live here. This is your neighborhood. Listen, yesterday I was around my house that I rent out. I'm looking for the broom, and I'm like, I don't even live here, but I don't want to see dirt. I don't care if it's my neighbor's step or my step. I'm around my old, my block. My neighbor come out, he was like, well, I saw the gas company out here. Such and such. Like, they tell me about anything. They call me. They listen. My neighbors, I love my neighbors, and I feel like you owe it to yourself. My family friends. That's just the whole town is my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything that's going on, everybody know. You know. So I'm thankful and grateful for some of the neighbors that I had. Even when it's personal things that go on with me, they're looking out and reaching out to me. And I know my one neighbor is praying for me all day. And it just so happens, like on my block, everybody got this tag over North Philly. Even you, this bougie mofo right here, he asked me if they wanted to ask his name, what's your zip code? So, but where my house is, it's like mother, daughter. So it's basically like a T-shape. They're all homeowners, number one. That's the difference. Most North Philly neighborhoods, those people own their homes as opposed to these other neighborhoods.
Certain parts. But a lot of people don't know that. And the blocks that we all circle around together, I want to say at least 80% of those people were homeowners. And so much so that me coming from North Philly and I almost thought that was the norm. I almost thought that most people own they got the house they live in. And here's what's even weirder. So I thought that, and I was a person who lived in a rental property, but everything that was around me was owned by my dad. You understand what I'm saying? And my mom. So we had properties. The house that my dad lived in now was paid for before I was even born. So like I always thought people owned houses. I didn't even know what a mortgage and stuff like that was, because when I was born, everything that my family had was already paid for. So I've never even seen them paying a mortgage or paying a rent. It was already done when I got here. So I thought if you didn't own it outright, it wasn't yours.
It's not.
Well, it's not. Yes,
it's not.
So, but that was my.
What is it?
I mean,
your lease is like you are making payments.
You making payments.
If you don't make those payments, somebody's going to come get it. It's not yours.
That's if you don't own nothing, because if you don't pay the taxes, then
But it's different.
That's what I'm about to say. That's what I'm about to say. You really don't own nothing. You don't own nothing anyway.
You don't own nothing.
But we know.
That's a black hole. But what I'm saying is that
and even with these houses, they got y'all thinking that they can come and take these houses and these things from them. Certain things, certain clauses. It really cannot
ways to take a house from you. I'm just saying, when you sign
But
the
shit, when you paying rent,
You own it outright.
house.
Exactly, you already know.
Especially nowadays, to take this shit back.
They got more rights than the
Yeah,
owners.
that's a whole
And-
other story.
and look.
That shit that just came out with somebody to be shot for that.
And you need to step your game up. Something that somebody told me makes so much sense now. I guess it will only make sense if your tenant agrees to it. But from here on out, I'm putting a clause in my my contract that if we incur any issues and we're not, seeing eye to eye, whatever the case may be, in 30 days, my life will be changed. And that has to be signed off on by my tenant. I ain't going through this no more. I'm
I
not.
don't know where y'all people get playing around.
If it's my contract, it's my contract. You can make provisions. You can make provisions and stipulations on
Your contract
anything.
cannot supersede the law of the town.
What I'm saying is, if the person agree upon it, that can be a contract. That is a verbal, and then we're making it an official contract, an agreement between two parties. That's a contract.
No,
Here, that's a definition of a
it's
contract.
crazy. It's crazy.
That's 30 years ago.
It's just crazy that it is a contract, right? But then when you get into the law part of it, even though you got it as a contract, it can't ever supersede the law of the area. You know what I mean? And even though y'all said that this was okay, if they honor it, that's one thing. But if they don't want to honor it, you know what I'm saying?
Listen.
You gonna wind up in trial, yo. I'm telling you, when they get that hit you with fines and fees, and when the judge tell you on the gamble, what you had may have been something y'all side, but they cannot super. Yo, listen, man. Y'all.
I cannot do this no more. I'm selling it.
I mean,
I
I
can't do it. I
understand.
can't be a landlord.
I
I
understand.
can't because I'm gonna go to jail. We'll be fighting this woman. And don't edit that.
Oh God, then you want to threat? You want to threat on the podcast?
I said we're gonna be fighting. Is that a threat? I said I was wiggle my ass. I said I was gonna bust somebody in the throat.
Yo.
I said I'm gonna fight her.
You
Are you editing it?
you are an attorney's nightmare.
You know, we touched on something. We touched on something when we was talking about the neighborhoods. When we was talking about seeing somebody throwing trash and stuff on the floor. And I saw that going home the other day. It was a young boy waiting on the bus stop, and he just came across you for Chick-fil-A. He finished his juice, and I'm just saying, like, no amount of trash is acceptable to throw down off your person. But I'm saying you take a whole cup and you throw it down when you're standing there. And I'm saying, like,
You know what's crazy?
that's unbelievable.
I feel weird. Like, I'm not even like a little person, but I ride in the car with one of my best friends, man, and no bullshit,
Just
man.
go shot the whole plat out.
It don't matter where he at.
It's unbelievable, man.
This what he do. And I be like, yo, dog, like, why you do it? I'm like, dog, just get the bag. Like, cause you know, we got the bag. I got bags in my car.
Yeah.
I put the trash in the bag. Like that littering thing, man. I don't know.
That shit
Price
drive
my
me
own shit.
crazy.
Like I'm not a fan of it.
So I had another topic, man, about littering, and a lot of times, you know, people used to associate the hood as being, you know, a poverty state, and I think they used to associate poverty with the trash all over the place. That you don't need a certain amount of money to not have trash all over your fucking neighborhood. I'm talking about you come out your own house and throw trash outside your house. You cannot blame that on
That's
economics.
Poverty mindset.
That's the poverty mindset.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You just accepting this shit and you cool with it. Like today I was riding through this one's neighborhood. I had my family with me today this morning. And we go out to the grocery store. Because I live in a halfway decent neighborhood, but I still don't have the grocery stores that those kind of grocery stores in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta go to this one's neighborhood to get to the grocery store. So we ride. It's early Sunday morning, we ride, and I'm just looking around at how it's not just a few blocks that are decent and manicured lawns. I'm talking about as much as I'm turning down all these blocks, I'm going up and down. Everything is manicured. Everything is gorgeous. Like I said, I'm not shitting on my own area, but I go 10 blocks this way, 10 blocks over this way, and it's depressing.
It's depressing.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I can go over to, once I get over to the L,
Yeah.
I'm riding down Kensington, I'm saying it's like walking dead. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's a whole other thing. But, you know, just saying, riding through other people's environments, man, and you seeing like this is not a money thing. This is like, we're not talking about the upkeep of the property. We know it takes money.
What I'm about to say is, I'm saying, like, this is no bullshit. I cut you off. Like, it's crazy. I was just driving through like 15th and not 15th and Chew, and I mean all the grass, everybody's shit was fucked up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, yo, 20 years ago, every lawn repair was manicured.
Every lawn.
So what you saying?
Talking about is
All
crazy.
of Ogontz, every lawn manicured. When I drive up Ogontz, I'm like, God damn, like I wonder if the people know. And even there was always shit going on.
Yeah.
But I wonder if people know, like, this used to be a really, like, on the outside driving up Ogontz, the street wasn't all bumpy like it was. And all the lawns used to look so nice. I was like, damn, I wish I had a house up here. Houses small as shit.
But that's how you know how young people, because I was talking to my lady about that, right? And I'm like, no, when you come over that block, that right there where that 7-Eleven used to be at, even from right there.
That's a whole other world.
Oh my God.
Yeah, even when y'all crib was at.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, all of that, everything was manicured.
Nice.
So she was like, I don't remember that minute, but I keep forgetting. I'm older, and she'd have been too little to really been up around there. And when I used to go around there, I used to be like, yo, this is like crazy. This look good. You know what I'm saying?
All the driveways were smooth out. Everything was.
You go to the
It's fucked up now,
but it's crazy, man.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think. Yeah, I don't know. We don't got.
And you didn't see track. I'm talking about there was no track.
No, you didn't see trash. People got to sweep their shits every other Saturday morning.
Yeah, black
That
and
shit
white.
left when all of the grandparents who owned them homes and all that shit passed off and left, and they ain't had the energy to do it no more. Them children and them grandchildren,
Fuck them.
Ford over the house, you know,
Sold it.
that, you know,
Sold
it's just
it.
being so many shenanigans once that. But yeah, that's a serious issue, and it even be making me mad some days, right? So I'm sitting out, you know, down north, and this car rides past. This car is packed to capacity, yo, and I ain't talking about with people. And I'm like, but people didn't want to say, put your mask up, put your mask on. Y'all got masks on, and y'all living in houses that's not even sanitary. It's like it's just an oxymoron out here running around, everybody acting like they hand sanitizing and they putting on masks, but they don't even live in clean house spaces.
So what do y'all think when we talk about these private mindsets we're talking about having an environment? You know, you can have this ceiling can be falling in. What did I do to trash outside your door? What is your opinion? Like, I understand the ceiling falling in. You might not have the money to pay for that, but to sweep up the trash is free.
I don't know, but we about to run out of time. There's about a minute left on the camera, so
All
we should
right,
hold
all
that
right.
for next week.
That's holy. Yeah, I want to know this. Y'all need to write in and tell us what y'all think about changing the mindset of being filthy.
Go ahead, play it. End it out.
That's a heavy topic.
End it out, play it.
So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, episode 16. Moving right along with it.
You fucked it up again?
15?
14?
Everybody wrong.
14, 15, 16?
It's
One of
15.
those.
It's 15.
15. We apologize. Episode 15. We glad that you guys are still rocking and rolling with us. And we're going to make sure that we touch on some topics that you guys submit to us. So please make sure that you are like, subscribing, and sharing. And also, what is it? Commenting?
Yes,
Sending those comments.
Sending those
Sending those
comments.
comments in via Instagram, textbook, Facebook, la 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 la.
As always, thank you.